Hi, I'm Barry Sahajian, and this video tutorial is about bass harmonics. This is a book I wrote in 1981, inspired by Jacko, of course. At that time, he was at the height of his career, and we all know his work with harmonics, how great it was. I didn't include any of his lines or Portrait of Tracy. This is my own study of harmonics, but it was definitely inspired by Jacko. It never would have happened if he didn't come around. Let me explain to you how this book is laid out and some of the things I included and how it works, and then we'll get down to looking at the examples and analyzing them. This is the index, and you'll notice I have all of the 12 tones, all 12 keys, and I included examples from each one of them. But you must understand, since we are limited with natural harmonics on those 4 frets, most of the chords are different in each key. Some are the same only when there are available notes that could be found within that 4 frets with natural harmonics. This is a chart of all the natural harmonics I used throughout the book. They are in 4 positions: 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, all frets. On the 4th fret, the fretted note and the harmonic note are one in the same. A B on the 4th fret, an F sharp on the 4th fret of the D, and so forth. On the 5th fret, the harmonic note produced over the fretted note below is a 5th higher. So on the 5th fret would be a fretted note of C. If you play a harmonic, you will get a G, which is a 5th up from C. On the 6th fret, the harmonic note produced over the note below, which would be a D flat, is an F, which is a major 3rd from the D flat. However, on this fret, the harmonic notes are out of key. They're out of tune. You can use them, but they must be used with caution, and you must be aware that they're going to be out of tune, so you can't linger too long on playing one of these harmonic notes. Possibly, if you play it in a line, or if you play a quick strum over 3 of the frets on the 6th fret, you'll be okay. But I use them seldom, and when I do, I am very much aware they're out of key. On the 7th fret, the harmonic note produced above the fretted note are one and the same, sort of like the 4th fret. On the 7th fret, you get a harmonic D, you get a fretted note of D, and you get a plus, because as you know, a D on the 7th fret, or a note on the 7th fret, is 1 octave higher than the string, open string below. So you have a D harmonic note from the 7th fret, a D fretted note from the 7th fret, and that will be the same as the D open string here. One of the first things I'd like to show you that is quite simple but needs explanation is using, the harmonics, crossing 4 strings, strumming 3 notes at a time. Now just this shape alone, it has a C sharp, F sharp, and a B. And this fret, as you may recall, is the 4th fret. The harmonic notes are exactly what the fretted notes are below. Now, what can we do with C sharp, F sharp, and B is the question. So, to complete this chord, for this type of style I'm talking about, this is pretty common, you put a root note to make it a chord. So if we were to put these 3 notes over an A, we have an F sharp, we have a C sharp, we have an F sharp, and a B. Now we got to figure out how they relate to an A. So the first one, the B, would be a 9. The second note, the F sharp, would be a 6 or a 13 technically. And then the 3rd note, the C sharp, would be the 3rd. So we have the 3rd, we have the 13th, and we have the 9th. So that'll work with a major chord, a major 7th chord, and so you have that choice. You add if you were using it with a simple triad or something, you're adding these tones. And you may have remembered Jacko would always, he used that kind of stuff every time, every chance he got, he threw that in, something like this. And it's an easy way to put some color in and get some attention from you as a bass player in the band, or you yourself as a composer, or It's a real simple way, but you have to understand a little about intervals and harmony. to do it correctly. This next example uses the same shape as the last one I used on the A major 7, 9, 13. Now this would be the same, except you put a D under there. Works just as well, but now the relation to the root changes. You have C sharp, F sharp, and B. So on the D, a C sharp would be a major 7, and then the F sharp would be a third of the D, and then a B would be a 6th or a 13th. So here we go. Sounds great, huh? Okay, now once again, you can use just this shape if you were to be playing a line. Once again, we're using the same shape, the C sharp, F sharp, and B shape. Different chord this time. This would be number 45 out of my bass harmonics book. And as I explained, the notes were a B, an F sharp, and a C sharp. So I named it B major 9, but the truth of the matter is the chord only contains a root, a fifth, and a 9, no third. So since there is no third, that leaves opportunity to make a little more music. First of all, you can use this if you were playing with someone that was playing a minor chord. That would work, because there is no third here, so he would add the minor third, or he or she would add the minor third from, you know, their piano voicing or their guitar voicing, so it will go along real nice. So if someone were to play a major chord, same thing, no third, so this is going to work for that as well. So one thing I got to tell you, we could add, you know, I'd like to make some permutations on this example 45, and I'm going to add a third, a major and a minor, and we'll see what happens. First of all, if you've ever looked at bass chords, you've got a 10th chord like that, and as I explained before, a 10th is merely a third up an octave away from the root, and so that would give you your major sound because there's a major third. But and then you would get your minor sound by playing a minor third with the bass chords. So let's take that and transpose it to harmonics. So we have now, first of all, so let's start with a minor. So since we're on the 7th fret, we can hit a D, which is right here, which is the same as fretting the bass chord. It's a great sound for a minor chord. And if we wanted to hit a third, there is no easy way to play a natural harmonic for a D sharp, so you're kind of in trouble. So I'll have to fret it. So let's try that. You have some wiggle room there to make some creative stuff with those. This would be number 68 on my bass harmonics book, and it would be an E minor 9. This one's very interesting. There's a lot of places you can go with this, but let's look at what I have written in the book, just basically. So we got 5th fret on the G string, 4th fret on the D string, 5th fret on the E string. So there's something I should have pointed out to you when I was showing you my diagram of the notes related to the fretted notes below, the harmonic notes related to the harmonic notes relating to the fretted note below, and especially on the 5th fret. Now I quoted that it was a 5th up from the fretted note, which is true. A C and then to a G is a 5th. So that may be a little more thinking that you'd like to do to try to figure out what that note is, but more simple is this is same note as the open string. That's simple enough. You know this is a G string, so if you hit the 5th fret of the G string, you'll get an octave. There's the note right there. It's funny, when you're up here, way up here, you get an octave lower. But anyhow, that's just the nature of things. We can blame Pythagoras for that. I don't know if you know who he was. He was the father of music, sort of. He was a mathematician. So what do you know about that? Anyway, we'll talk about him another time. So that first note is the minor third of the E, a G, same as the open note below. And it goes the same. So these harmonics become more accessible and easy to understand because it's just simply the same note as the string an octave higher. So anyway, we get the minor third here on the 5th fret of the G string, which is a G, and we have an F sharp here, which is the 9 of the E. F sharp, which is the 9. And then we have the E, which is on the 5th fret of the E string. Once again, 5th fret equals same note as the open string, an octave higher. It's kind of nice, and guess what? You can hit that in there too. You know, let's hit this. Whole bunch of E's everywhere, you know. I'd like to show you another E you may have known about, and this will be the 3rd fret. I didn't do anything with the 3rd fret on this book, so we're kind of adding a permutation once again. There's an E, an octave higher than that E. 3rd fret, A string, you get an E, an octave higher than this E. So we can throw that in the mix here. So now we have now you hit this E, since it's up an octave higher, you can get them a whole step apart, which is a little dissonant and kind of nice. Good old E string. Universal note for everybody. All bass players love E, I think. I don't know, I kind of stay away from it, you know, so, you know, at the expense of, if you use it, then you sound stereotyped or something. Anyway, so anyway, you have that E there. It's the same as that. And this is the same as that. So you start messing around with all these E's. So there we go for the E minor 9. That wraps it up for this harmonic lesson tutorial. And if you like it, please let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll produce another video. There are 114 examples in that, including scales and licks and a bunch of other things at the end I'd love to cover at another time. But anyhow, please subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified of all the new videos yet to come. I thank you for stopping by and hope to see you again.